Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first webisode of Finnovex. And I'm in conversation with none other, Miss ABEER KHEDR, who is a CISO for the last 20 years and the current Director for Information Security for National Bank of Egypt. And she's been recognized as the CISO of the Year by EC Council for the year 2019 during the Middle East Awards. Also, she's been one of the Arab CISO of the Year during the Arab Security Conference in 2018 and CISO of the Year in the Cairo Security Camp in 2016. Since last 4 years, I'm sure she has been achieving all the accolades, and she has the wolf pack of women in security in not just in Egypt, but globally. Have been among the IFSEC influencer in security and fireside panel and judges for various conferences. And today she is my first guest at the Finnovex webisode. Please welcome Miss ABEER KHEDR. Welcome to Finnovex first episode. I am excited to meet you today.
Thanks a lot, Shabazz. It's my pleasure to be with you and your audience today. And thank you for the wonderful introduction.
It's my pleasure always to actually hear all the good things that you've been doing in the region. As you know, we have actually made it very, very exciting during the interview, what we are doing. What we have done right now is we have actually jotted down a few questions from the audience, okay? And we are talking about our delegates who are attending. So based on that, I'm going to be asking you some candid questions, which I'm sure it is going to be a little bit direct to your line of business. And as we have seen, ABEER, you have been in conversation with many experts, and today, being the 2020, the first webisode that we have launched it, I'm very excited for this. Now, the first question that I have in my list is, during the post-COVID-19, with the emergence and the growth of fintech and digitization of banks, what do you think would be the potential opportunities in the banking industry?
Well, COVID has definitely accelerated the digital transformation plans for banking services by creating the need to perform those services online and decrease or perhaps eliminate altogether the need for customers to physically visit the traditional branches. Last year, has also allowed for more cooperation and collaboration between banks and fintechs. This collaboration is proving to be effective as the fintech companies provide the innovative solutions and the banks provide the large customer base that is in need more than ever to use those innovative solutions so that they can transact remotely from the comfort of their homes. Thereby creating more opportunities for financial inclusion, which is targeted in our region, and also achieve and maintain customers' retention through increased trust in the financial industry's responsiveness to their evolving needs.
Great. ABEER, also, we have always been talking about digital transformation, being the banks completely going digital because of just COVID-19. Right now, it's in the massive, do you say that it has tripled 10 into 10 when it comes to digitization? Also, the security has become one of the main concern because given the rapid turbulence of digitization is growing. What, according to you, would be the concerns or the challenges on the banking industry right now?
Challenges, I see them mainly, of course, there are several challenges, but there are two main ones. There is the fact that in order to accelerate digital transformation plans, banks need to also transform their underlying processes, internal processes, to make those plans launch at the right time. But of course, after doing the needed security testing, after addressing the risks, and at the same time ensuring to communicate to the customers to encourage them and encourage their adoption of the new solutions and services. Another challenge lies in the fact that when targeting customer segments that are perhaps senior citizens or those who are not, who do not have a lot of exposure to technology, like we have of some of our customer segments in Egypt, the communication challenge becomes even harder. Because you don't only want them to use your products, but you also want them to be aware of the needed security, like the use of one-time passwords to do their transactions and other security communication to alert them from the phishing attempts. You know, phishing attempts in the COVID times have skyrocketed, and we want to ensure that customers are aware of this as well as other cyber threats. Does banks here really need to manage their customers' communication plans very carefully in order to be able to achieve the desired objectives of both increased digital adoption as well as security awareness?
Great, great. So the next thing that, I agree that, it has definitely been a concern in terms of driving the digital transformation. And we have seen that Egypt has been rapidly transforming into a complete digital bank. A lot of neobanks are in the emergence right now. What do you think, according to, because you've been one of the CISO for the Prime Bank. What is the role of CXO? Okay, the policies in terms of the developing infrastructure for digital transformation in the banking sector. All right, because this has been one of my favorite questions for sure, but also the attendees majorly has targeted this question to ask you about this.
In those times, we really have to forget about the traditional role of the CISO. So I believe the CISO's role has undergone a mandatory evolution from being, the guardian who protects the infrastructure and the one who always raises only security concerns, to becoming more of a trusted advisor to management and to business teams. And the CISO should also be presenting solutions and alternatives to help solve the problems, not just raise the red flags, but also cooperate with business in such times to help find alternatives to those concerns. And with this evolution, CISOs had to build upon the necessary communication skills to become the initiative taker as well as the silo breaker. You have mentioned, yes, we are a large bank, and of course we have so many teams, and really it's up to the CISO to go forward and reach out to the business teams to better understand their needs, and also discuss their strategy and plans, and perhaps even more provide suggestions and ideas to help them achieve it.
So do you work closely with the CIOs and the CTOs within your bank?
Yes, of course, as well as the digital teams and the retail teams, the business teams. It's crucial in the first 6 months of the COVID that we had to really cooperate and work in an agile manner, because we had so many services that we wanted to launch in a shorter time.
Great. So ABEER, now everybody today is in the race for having the collaboration between fintechs. Okay, the fintechs has been the main target audience right now when it comes to banks, and currently we are seeing many of the banks are adopting those collaboration. Now, according to you, who do you think are leading the way in the change and transformation, whether it is bank or fintech? Who do you think has a more?
Yeah, so
I know it's definitely one of the controversial questions, but I am very curious to know this.
Yeah. I think both sides are very mandatory to a successful, digital transformation equation. So I've seen in some countries and in some areas that fintechs are usually seen as the trendsetters, bringing their innovative ideas to the table. In Egypt, banks have a successful collaboration model with fintechs. Perhaps the National Bank of Egypt was among the pioneers who started collaborating with one of the large fintechs here in Egypt back in 2013, providing the first electronic mobile wallet to customers. So the fintechs here are seen for us that they provide the innovative solutions, and they are inspired by the bank customer needs. So the bank provides them with the network, the large network of customers that will adopt their innovative solutions. And sometimes the banks will initiate actually the opportunities for fintechs and direct and shape their strategy and way forward according to those newly created opportunities in different customer segments, in different markets that fintechs alone could find it hard to reach. So I think both are needed in today's world, and both should collaborate to serve customers.
So you feel that it's a win-win situation between banks and fintech companies.
Yes, at least this has been the experience here for us.
Of course, in most of the countries are saying that it is a very good hostile approach for having the win-win situation of banks as well as with the fintech companies. Now, who do you think bring customers' needs into perspectives? Okay, I know because it is, I really wanted to know whether do you think the fintechs brings us questions, or do you think the banks who actually bring the customer needs into their perspectives?
Well, I judge from the experience here. Their ideas are shared. Sometimes the fintechs propose an idea, the customers through the banks help shape this idea. Because we understand, we have the exposure, we understand the customer needs very well. The fintechs have the advantage that they are the ones who develop actually solutions, but the solutions have to respond to the customer needs that are expressed through the banks. This is the model we're seeing here. It's a model of successful collaboration.
Great. ABEER, you have a very vast network. According to me, okay, I am just taking it back from the questions that I've just wanted to have a general perspective. You have how many? I'm not sure how many followers do you have because the counts when we started doing on Twitter, LinkedIn, and other social media, we were not able to read exactly the graphs about the followers that you have. But you have a wolf pack of women, that's for sure. Okay, and you are one of the women who supports everyone. And in fact, my team has always appreciated the kind gestures that you have shown every time that we have reached out to you to talk about the topic on the security. And if you remember right now on the whole agenda, you are the first woman who are actually who are speaking and are currently at Finnovex. And the second thing is actually, managing the boardroom activities, then the strategies, then being the judge. Where do you get this energy, the motivation? I really wanted to know because I was always touched upon your achievements that you have actually brought in the region.
Thank you so much. But it's good that you highlighted this question because, I really love what I do, whether in my work or whether in the community work that I do. I really love what I do. I'm passionate about it, and I enjoy what I do. It's not, a matter of time management. Of course, time management is needed, but it's really the enjoyment and fulfillment I get out of those activities is what keeps me going. And I always advise the women, because women have a lot of responsibilities inside and outside the work. I always advise them not to go for a complete work personal life separation. The enjoyment really comes from integrating all aspects of the things you like to do. You love your family and you love your work. And I think a very good model that works is integrating both. I don't find any issues at all attending to work in very late hours in the evening and at night. And I also, I'm not embarrassed to tell my boss that during daytime, I have to attend to a family matter. So my life is integrated, and I think integration helps keep me sane and helps keep me productive. And that's what I advise. I don't advise for work-life separation. It's really one life. We are just juggling different roles. So it's better to integrate them.
May you keep the same power as well as the excitement during your working hours always. We pray to that. What do you think, actually, Abeer? Because we have, you have been one of the trendsetter. Because last year when we have announced the about your social media post that you are speaking at one of the event, I believe everyone in the community that you belong, they started congratulating you, and you're the only woman out of all we had. We had around 19 women who spoke at 2020 event. You're the only one who actually reached out to a designation where you are one among the top 5. All right. And this achievement, I think it was just a few months ago that we had you on the board, and the excitement that every community that we receive from your community is very massive. All right. How do you attract such fans? How do you attract such community towards you? It's like the moment we put across a post, after a few minutes, we see so many impressions. People are talking about it, sharing about your post, and telling, Abeer, we're excited. We want to meet you during this meeting. And that's why we couldn't ask for a better guest today than you for our first webisode.
Thank you very much. It just happens that, first of all, I'm thankful and grateful for everyone. And I really, I'm thankful for you for all this nice words, and thankful for all my connections, because I just want to share with you that I know my network from a long time. So this network was not just built in one day. It's across
Absolutely.
the years. Yeah, exactly. So I know many people in the market from the years I used to work at Deloitte. So I was serving many industries, not only the banking. So I used to work on projects with telcos, with manufacturing companies, with other banks. So I know this network from before joining the National Bank of Egypt. And after joining the National Bank of Egypt, it became more focused on the banking industry. And also when we started the Women in Cybersecurity Middle East, we also had a much further reach out to women in different countries in the region. So that's how the network built up. And I really like to keep the good relations. I never end business or friendly relations. I believe that there's always something that we all learn from one another, and that those relations are beneficial for us as the years move on.
I just hope I get few followers of you who are actually doing it, and they definitely look back what we are doing. And Abeer, you have been an ex Deloitte, okay, which is a consulting firm, and now coming to a National Bank of Egypt. What has made a difference between these years?
One of the reasons that made me join NBE, or moving to the client side now instead of being on the consultant side, is that I wanted to actually implement what I used to advise people to do. I wanted to put it in place and go through the challenges and apply what I have learned in the Deloitte years. Deloitte and the other big four are really, schools that you learn a lot while working there. So I just wanted to apply that. And I always, as a consultant, I always feel that I need to make something to improve organizations, to improve the way people work. So I thought this was the best opportunity to work in a large bank and to drive cybersecurity in that bank. I think it was the best experience that I have had in my career so far, and I'm thankful for it. I learned a lot from it.
Great. So here, I know this is too early to ask right now because we are still 4 weeks away to the event, okay, which is Finnovex East Africa. You will be debuting your first speaking at Finnovex from the East Africa version. We wanted to get the Africa perspective of cybersecurity and resilient. I do not want, and I just wanted to know a short synopsis about. I want the viewers, or for viewers, to actually to stay tuned and watch you live virtually on 9th and 10th of February. However, I just wanted to ask, no, what step you have taken in National Bank of Egypt towards building a cyber resilient and digitally empowered economy?
When we say the network of connections has built over the years, resilience is similar to that. If you want resilience to be weaved into the DNA of your organization, then it doesn't happen suddenly. It has to mature over time, and it requires a lot of perseverance. So you need to start with the right policies, framework and governance structures in place, the right security architecture with defense in depth embedded, continuous assessment and improvement of internal processes, the human element, the controls posture, so that you gradually but progressively achieve maturity and become resilient enough to address the evolving threats today. So as we say, it doesn't happen overnight. In today's world also, cyber resilience has to be done in parallel with an accelerated digital transformation. So this calls for ensuring that security is correctly embedded into product development life cycles. So we want to hear more of DevSecOps, not just DevOps, and this will help us and help organizations not waste time discovering and hastily patching security vulnerabilities in the products at the end of the life cycle, but instead it will, if you ensure that security is embedded from the start, since the product inception since the idea inception all throughout the product life cycle, then you will have a better approach like this of ensuring that you meet the time to market of your solution and satisfy your business and customer needs.
Great. I'm sure you can talk about this more in your presentation when you're going live on a virtual platform, that Finnovex virtual event on 9th and 10th of February. ABEER, I believe you had a chance to go through the agenda. Okay, and I just wanted to know the brochure and agenda. What are your thoughts about the virtual event that we are doing in East Africa?
Yes, I looked at the agenda. Thanks for sharing. It's really great that you are covering all aspects of innovation and excellence in financial services. Because as a cybersecurity professional and CISO, I always hope to attend more of the conferences that don't only address cybersecurity, which is my domain, but to also give me insights and knowledge into the business that I'm supporting. So I want to know how retail strategies are changing, and I also want to keep up with the innovative approaches in responding to customer needs. This way, I can myself refine and adjust my outlook too. Therefore, in addition to my session, of course, that I'm much looking forward to, I will make sure to attend the one that discusses the collaboration between fintechs and banks. Because as we said earlier here, we have collaborated with a large fintech in Egypt, and I'm very much interested to see how other banks and fintechs in the region in Africa are doing on this as well.
Great. So I'm sure people are excited about the event, but however, you have been one of the inspiration to many people in the community. What would you like to say to your industry peers and your community who are looking forward to attend Finnovex East Africa?
Yes, I would say to them, make the time in your schedule to attend the event live. Because previously, when the digital events virtual events started taking place, I thought, okay, if I'm busy, perhaps I would attend the recording later. But then I attended one event and live, and I think there is a lot more opportunities than listening to it after event. So I tell my colleagues that it's a wonderful and rare opportunity, not only to listen, of course, to all those experts coming from different domains in the financial sector in Africa, and they're all speaking just a couple of days, but also to interact and engage with them in the networking breaks, which I find particularly useful. So therefore, dear colleagues, make sure to grab this chance. Let's enhance our knowledge through learning from the experience of others, and network with great people with whom we will continue to learn from beyond the conference. I'm much looking forward myself as well to attending it live.
I agree with you that is why we have kept the live event. We don't have on demand. Okay, on demand is only available if anybody have missed out a session during the event. But however, our platform that we have integrated, you will have a live audience, live speakers question. As you're a speaker, of course, you will be getting a chance of questions from the audience who are, while during your presentation, there would be a few questions that you will be able to answer live. And that is why we are also making sure that each and every audiences are actually stay tuned all the time. So the timings is 11 o'clock East Africa time. We'll be going live. Abir, we are very much looking forward for your sessions, your panels, as well as your networking with the industrial colleagues, because being the first women who are talking, it's our privilege to have you. And today's webisode could not be excited that you have joined it. And I'm very thrilled to actually show that, to show an audience about what an excitement of 2020 that you have. Before we just wrap up, Abid, I just have a few questions, two questions. Abir, who are your influences in the region or in the community that you look up to it and you do follow it? And I'm sure this is which everybody excited to hear about this.
Of course, there are influencers in my life, in my personal life. But at the career level, of course, in cybersecurity, there are so many influencers that I read and I learn from. So I just don't want to, miss anybody. But I find, for example, from the women influencers in Europe, I find Mary Jo Deleuve is, not only an influencer but a role model. She's into cybersecurity and privacy of gaming, and that's a particular area of interest that is not common. However, she has resilience and she has a very strong and very nice character. Actually, I look up to her, and she's very courageous. In the region, I have my friend and colleague, Dr. Reem Al-Shamari, the Kuwait oil company CISO. She's also a very inspiring woman and leader that I always learn from as well. So many of them exist, and I really, really enjoy and learn a lot from many of them.
Oh, great. Actually, it's been a great talking to you, Abir. And before you do that, I wanted to take your time and also on behalf of my team for giving you your valuable time and your suggestions for building such an impactful agenda. Our audience are all excited to watch you live on 9th and 10th of February. Virtually, we'll be meeting it up until all the restrictions of lockdown in the other countries get down.
Yeah.
And we meet you live. We were excited to have you in Dubai event. Inshallah, after this event, I'm sure people are actually talking about us to get you in Dubai. We are in a process. Once this completes it, we are going to be reaching out to you. But for today, I had a wonderful time talking to you, and your conversation, your insights are very valuable to the industry. And you have been an inspiration, not just to my team, even to me. And congratulations for all the achievement. I'm looking forward to meet you live on 9th and 10th of February. In case viewers, if you wanted to actually catch ABEER, you can follow her on LinkedIn, which is ABEER KHEDR, the link will be in the description. And definitely you can get all the insights about the cybersecurity as well as digital transformation expert from what is will be the future of cybersecurity, because she, as I mentioned to you earlier, she has the wolf pack of women in the community in cyberspace, and you can always hack the knowledge from her anytime that you would like to. And don't forget to actually tune into 9th of February for Finnovex East Africa to watch her live presentation and insights that she would be discussing it. And until then, you all guys take care and stay safe. And thank you for watching the first episode of Finnovex. And thank you, ABEER, for joining once again. And you take care and have a fantastic day ahead.
Thanks, Shabazz, for having me. It's been wonderful talking to you today. Thank you.
You're most welcome.